Good morning, traders, and welcome back to those of you who've had a long weekend. I hope you took some time away from the charts, coming back feeling refreshed and getting ready to make some new trades, take some new positions, and make some money. So let's have a quick look at our weekly watch list. I'm going to keep this one very brief because I actually want to look at a slightly different topic, and there are a few more trades on my watch list that I'm going to go through now. And what I'll do is I'll look at them through the week as the week sort of unfolds. Now, the first thing that I want to point out is, obviously, yesterday was a bank holiday in many different areas. So I've got this is just the economic calendar, Forex Factory up here, and you can see this is obviously yesterday. You can see we had major bank holidays all over Europe, Great Britain, as many geographies were celebrating Easter Monday. So what you would expect is, obviously, when a lot of these banks and when a lot of traders are away from their desks, you'd often expect sort of quiet markets. That's the general sort of norm. Price is not really going anywhere, and quite often you see that. And then sometimes that's not the case. So I wanted to show you the pound dollar here. This is obviously the pair that's favored as part of our intraday hedging strategy. This is Monday here, right? So you can see we sort of opened down here and we closed down here. Now we've got all in all, I suppose this is the high up here. We've got 160 pip range. So anyone who was trading our flow strategy, our high-low, would have done quite well. You would have made your weekly target in one day, which is quite nice. But that wasn't really my point of bringing this up. What I wanted to show everyone is that it's dangerous sometimes to make assumptions that because you think that the market is going to be quiet, that it is going to be quiet. Once again, as always, the market can do whatever it wants to do, right? That's simply how it works. We are participants, we're there looking for setups, and we are there to trade. So we may have expected small moves, and we didn't get it. We got a lot of volatility and a lot of big moves. So just wanted to briefly point that out. Now, the most interesting pair that I'm seeing at the moment is the Euro-Yen. I highlighted this last week. I've been watching it for quite a while, actually. And why I like it, if I back up this chart a little bit here, you can see I think we are in some sort of structured downtrend, right? We've got lower highs, okay, and we have lower lows, and price has been moving down for sort of 6-7 months, and we've had a number of reversal signals. I touched on this not too long ago, that have failed, right? So there's sort of a reversal pin bar there, and you can see it failed, which indicates that this trend is quite strong. Now what we're seeing is price came down here in sort of late February, made this low, the low of the year so far, then came up, touched this it's about 127.30, all right, and then started flagging down and printed this thing. I remember when this candle was printing, I think I actually recorded a video, and it looked like price was going to fall, and even then I said, I don't buy it. I still think we're going to come back up here and do a double top at the very least. And look, there we are. We've come back up. It's taken longer than I thought, but we have come back up. But the distance between this top and this top is actually fantastic. It's ideal to trade some sort of double top. So there we are. Price has reached that level. Now, what do I want to see? So ideally today, I want to see some sort of pin bar. So I want to see a nice long wicked candle sort of push into the zone and then come back down and fail and close ideally below this level. Or I want to see some sort of bearish candle. Traders who know our systems may look for some sort of big bully. That would be good too. So that would be some sort of bearish candle. I mean, it's already gone higher than yesterday, which is nice. Some sort of candle would close potentially down here somewhere, giving us a fantastic double top to trade with some nice easy targets. Obviously, we may look to take profit here at about 125.20, potentially on these lows here, and then potentially down there. So this is number one on my watch list. I think it looks great. Let's see what happens. Obviously, there's no guarantee that we're going to get a sell trade at this point. We will have to wait and see how today plays out, but that will most likely give us our next trade. Then the only other two sort of markets that I wanted to briefly look at just in this video are the Aussie dollar and the euro dollar. So let's have a look at the Aussie dollar. Those of you who've been following these videos for a while know that I was quite keen on a sell at this zone. This is about the 74.30, somewhere around there, and this is the 76 level. Now, obviously, this zone was sort of totally blasted through, and you can see these are represented by these sort of highs here. But this is the much more important zone, the 76, and you can see how it held on the way down here, right? So that's why that zone is a lot more important to me. So price came up, and it really did look like it was just going to break through, and then we've had a bit of a bearish move, which is nice. It's good to see that. Now I think what we need to look for here is a similar kind of thing to the euro yen. We need to see some sort of double top. So I'm going to see wait for some sort of stab into the zone. I think we're going to have to definitely make another attempt at it. You can see price has sort of moved down. It hasn't even reached this bottom zone, and it's definitely making its way up. A nice double top trade here could be fantastic. We could certainly sell that down to these lows at least. You know, potentially a, let's measure that quickly. You know, if we get some sort of double top set up here, we may be looking at a 700-800 pip move. So nice one, not as ripe as the euro yen, but definitely an interesting looking trade. Then the euro dollar, this was one that was sent through. I'll be completely honest, this is not one that I want to trade. So what this trader was looking at is these sort of bullish moves, and I agree, very bullish. So big bullish candle here. This is the daily chart. Flag down, bullish move, flag down, and bullish move. Now this bullish move is just not good enough for me, and perhaps it's a victim of yesterday's low liquidity, you know, in the euro, at least the pounded move. But it, you know, if it just had closed sort of somewhere up here near the high, definitely I'd see that as quite a nice bounce. You know, if you switch to a line chart, you've got a definite sort of nice bend in the chart here. Very nice. You know, it's a nice sharp move. You can see these sharp moves are what we want to see. The challenge for me is it just gave up too much sort of earlier on in the day. However, if we were to see some, you know, today's candle, and today's candle is obviously just a few hours old, so definitely not representative of the day, but if it were to come up here and close somewhere up here, you know, above the high of yesterday's candle, then perhaps we have some sort of long, at least up to the recent highs, right? You know, sort of at least up to here. I think we may be able to get a nice trade out of it. And the last pair that I'm going to have a quick look at, not for a trade, but I wanted to just sort of point this out to everyone, is the dollar yen. So we highlighted this box a while ago, and the top of the box is quite well defined. Right, this is the daily chart. The bottom of the box is a little bit tricky. You know, do you count these touches? Do you count the ends of the wicks? You know, initially I believe I had the box drawn somewhere like that, where these zones are. And the reason for that is it was this touch, and we saw this candle break through, and we said, well, maybe we're going to see some sort of sell trade. And then something very interesting happened. Price came back up, and it closed inside the box. And I wrote extensively about this the other day. I call it the law of boxes, and what happens when price closes inside a box, where the ultimate support and resistance is. So what I'd like to do, I'm going to put a link to that for anyone who's interested. I thought it was a nice representation of that law happening again. Let's see what the week unfolds. I think we're going to have a great trading week.